They came out here in search of the so-called supercorals and got more than they bargained for. A scientific research group called Great Barrier Reef Legacy launched this 21-day mission combining 10 researchers from different fields of expertise. While they've found there's still devastating bleaching across parts of the upper reaches of the reef, they've managed to find species that are more resilient to the pressures of ocean warming.
Well, in the process of doing all these transects, we found a reef that was just the most biodiverse and with new species never before seen.
An underwater Garden of Eden, a newly discovered reef with abundant life that seems to have somehow avoided the effects of spikes in ocean temperatures which cause bleaching.
It was really incredibly unexpected, and it's the richest site of Acropora, well, that's the staghorn corals, than any place I've ever seen on the Great Barrier Reef. And then on top of that, we've found corals that have never been recorded on the Great Barrier Reef, and then we found at least one really outstanding new species.
Teams on board the Legacy expedition have now mapped the area using GPS tagging and high-tech 3D modelling so that the health of this newly discovered site can be monitored. Samples have also been taken for scientific testing to find out what makes these corals different. But Dr. Charlie Veron, who's a global coral expert responsible for discovering 20% of the world's coral species, says the discovery doesn't mean Australia can be complacent. He warns that if there's no urgent effort to reverse ocean warming, time is running out for the Great Barrier Reef.
I think the Great Barrier Reef could be entirely dead within 15 years. All it needs is a succession of bleaching events like we've had in the last couple of years. If that's kept up for the next 15 years, we won't have a Great Barrier Reef. But that's extremely unlikely. That is the worst case scenario. What is much more likely is progressive deterioration.
Dr. Veron says ocean temperatures take a while to catch up with what's going on in the atmosphere above. So therefore, more bleaching is likely. But Dr. Veron says there's still a window of time in which to cut the carbon dioxide emissions that he says causes ocean warming and therefore leads to bleaching, disease and the death of the Great Barrier Reef.